Pisces, thanks for visiting. This is reading for November 11th to November the 17th. And as I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe. I said surprise. I'm just so tired. I have to explain this to you. I'm not sleeping very well. I'm very, very tired. There's a lot going on with me right now. I've got someone who's very, very, very close to me who's not very well. They're having tests for something that's quite serious. So I'm not saying this for you to say, oh, I'm so sorry. That's not why I'm saying this. I just want to explain that this week I'm not that on top of my readings. I'm late with some of them. I feel as if I want to start and then I get tired or I get, you know, upset or something and then I stop. So a lot of ups and downs here, but I'm doing them when I can. And so if this reading isn't that fantastic, that's probably why. If I stumble my words, if I get lost, I'm trying to concentrate on not very much sleep. Just letting you know that's what the problem is. So I'm going to go on with the reading right now, and I'm going to try and get this out to you as quickly as I can. So I'll start right now. So the first card you have, you passed the Star. Okay, so there's something a bit specific here already. It feels like not a reunion, but it's like a conversation, and this is with someone who used to be in your life, and I don't think you thought that you'd talk to them that much. I think you thought you had to talk to them a little bit, but you didn't think you'd have this conversation. It feels like a surprise. It's a bit like, oh, I didn't think I'd be having this conversation, and not with this person, and not like this. Yeah, this is someone you used to talk to a lot. You're very, very close to this person. Might have been an ex, I'm not sure. There was some kind of falling out between you or something like that. And I think you had to talk to them. It was a necessity. It had to happen. You didn't want it to happen, but it had to happen. And I think it might have been about someone between you, someone mutual that you knew. It wasn't just talk, it was something, it was about a specific purpose that you wanted to resolve or something like that. It feels kind of resolved now, not quite. For some reason, I don't think you quite trust this person 100%. I don't know why that is. I'm just getting that feeling. And also, if you look at this card and you look at this woman on this card, she's naked. So this can be about vulnerability. And I think that's how you felt around this person. A little bit vulnerable, not a lot, just a little bit. And I think you felt like this because I think something might have happened between you in your past. I'm seeing this falling out. But I don't think it was like one big falling out, because I'm looking at this vulnerability and I think they were with you a lot every day or something like that. And I think day after day, they kind of wore you down. So that's what I'm getting. So maybe that's why you feel that kind of vulnerability, that you're not quite yourself around them. You don't feel strong around them. That's what I'm getting. And yeah, so it was a necessary conversation. It was an uncomfortable conversation. I'm just glad it's over if this all resonates with you. And this woman on this card, you know, again, she's naked, she's by herself. But, you know, you can see this as well. You can see it one way as vulnerable, but you can also see it as, you know, she's naked, she's comfortable in her own skin, she's comfortable by herself. So what I'm seeing is these two contrasting ways you can see this card. So when you're with this person, you're very vulnerable, you feel very vulnerable. And then when you're away from them, you start feeling more comfortable in your own skin and comfortable by yourself. So more comfortable without them than with them. That's what I'm seeing there. So you're more comfortable away from them. There's a lot of strength here as well. I'm also seeing a goal. There's some big goal that you have and it's on your mind. It's only on your mind, I think. You're keeping this to yourself. It feels like you're kind of nurturing this goal like a child almost, and you're protecting it. You're watching it grow without lots of eyes on you and on this goal. So because I think you're very private anyway, I think. But I think you're especially private when it comes to this goal, because it's a very big thing. It's a sort of thing that a lot of people would say, oh, that's a big out of this world, you know, that's a bit ridiculous, that's a big goal, that's a bit crazy. So you don't want anyone to mess that up for you, so you're just keeping that to yourself, and I think you're very wise to do this. But yeah, the other thing is, with this kind of juxtaposition between this person in this conversation and the way you felt when you're away from them, and then this goal here, I'm seeing this kind of sequence where you were with this person at one time, you got away from them, and after you got away from them, you felt strong enough to achieve this goal, which is what you're in the middle of now, or you're thinking of now. And I think having this conversation was kind of a reminder to you that you have gotten away from them, you are much stronger now, and that's kind of reminding you of that. And sometimes the universe gives you these reminders, sometimes they don't feel that good, but it's like, okay, this is just a reminder, it doesn't feel very good, I'm just showing you where you were then, where you are now. So that's what I'm getting in that card. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so the next card you have, you pass the Two of Cups. Beautiful. I love this card. Absolutely beautiful. And you've got the Star card and this one. Two very beautiful cards. So yeah, there's definitely someone you connect with. Feels like a very, very deep connection, but it doesn't feel like you've known them for very long, or it might be that you're away from them or something like that. It feels deep, it feels very special. It also feels a little bit scary, especially for you, I think. Now, I think you're talking to this person. Again, I'm seeing this distance, so I think there might be a distance between you. Because if you look at this card, there's a home in the background, but it's far away from this couple. And homes, houses, and all of that, sometimes they represent unions, solid relationships, but it's far away from them. So from that, I'm getting that you are far away from them, probably. You're at a distance from them, but also you feel as if you're at a distance from this relationship, so you're not quite sure about it yet, and it might be because of this distance. So yeah, maybe you're talking to them online. I'm just getting this feeling of, I want to let myself feel this, I want to let myself get close to this, I want this relationship, but I just want to be sure, I just want to know more first, I need to spend more time with them first, I need to know them properly first. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. There is a lot of positivity around this, I have to say. But you know, you're right to take your time if that's what you're doing and if that's how you're feeling, especially if this is a long distance, you know, because you want to know them properly. You want to really, truly connect before you make up your mind. If you look at this caduceus between these two cups, you know, firstly, it looks like a kind of intertwined connection. So you're probably thinking something like, you know, we really need to connect properly. We need to intertwine our lives properly before I know whether this is what I truly want. So yeah, there's that unsurety there. I keep on seeing that. And the other thing this caduceus can represent is healing. You know, it can be a medical symbol. You've probably seen that. So I think there's a past relationship that you've had. I think you might have rushed into it quickly, maybe, without really knowing them properly. And I think, yeah, I'm seeing a short-lived relationship. And I think what happened is you're really hurt by that, you're really burnt by that. And the reason why was because you didn't really know who they truly were. So this time, you want to know who this person truly is before you get close to them. That's absolutely makes perfect sense to me. So yeah, you wanted to spend more physical time with them, but apart from that, it really looks beautiful to me. You know, there's potential passion here, there's a very deep connection, but you know, if this is how you're feeling, you know, I totally agree with you. You need physical closeness, you need to be with them properly before you know whether this is really truly what you want yet. So that all makes sense to me, but hopefully you'll be able to do that. You'll get more time with them. Okay, so the last card you have, you pass the Empress. Yeah, this is just so beautiful so far. You've got these 3 absolutely beautiful cards. So yeah, this is a really kind, caring energy in this card. So they really do care for you if this all resonates with you. It's not just passion. It feels like they want to do things for you. They want to care for you. And I think this is how they show their love. You know, people show their love in a lot of different ways, as you know. So, you know, some people are very, very physically affectionate all the time. But I think they show their love by doing things for you and, you know, by helping you. And I think by teaching you as well. You know, they like to show you what they know. It's like, oh, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. And, you know, sometimes when people are a little bit like, oh, this is how you do this, it can feel a little bit like, oh, they're a know-it-all. They think they know everything and they're trying to tell me everything. So if they do come across a little bit like that, my feeling is that they don't actually mean it to come across like that, because I think they're doing this to show love for you. That's their way of showing that to you. That's what I'm picking up there. So, and you know, if it is long distance, if you are speaking via text a lot or something, sometimes you miss out on those cues. You know, you don't realize what they're really meaning or thinking. If you're looking at text, sometimes it doesn't convey you know, the emotion or what's behind that properly. So sometimes you don't really see all of that. So that might be what's happening as well. But you know, this, whatever they do for you, whether it's showing you something, teaching you something, it comes from a place of caring. Because this isn't the Emperor, this is the Empress. The Emperor would be, if this was the Emperor and they were telling you what to do, then yes, that would be like, okay, they're a know-it-all. They think they know everything. They think they're the boss. That's the Emperor. But this is the Empress, so it comes from that place. So yeah, this looks really beautiful. There's still a lot of growing that needs to happen on both sides, I think. And, you know, again, you need to be sure, you need that reassurance before you can properly go ahead with this. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the 8 of Swords. Okay, for some reason, I hate to say this to you, but I think you might have to talk to this person again, this person in the Star card. You feel very uncomfortable around them. Yeah, there are still more talks here, I think, that need to come with this person. There's some kind of unfinished business there. Something hasn't been concluded yet. I'm actually seeing some kind of formal agreement. So if you know what that's about, I don't think this is going to come to a full conclusion yet. I don't think anything's going to be written or signed or whatever properly for a long time, maybe not until next year or something like that. That's what I'm seeing. So there is a verbal agreement though, I'm seeing that as well. And if they've made a verbal agreement with you, or if this is about someone else, if someone else has, but it's not formal yet, I'm getting this feeling that, you know, you don't trust this person in the Star card. I can see that. But I actually think when the time comes, if this is about them or if this is about someone else, some other verbal agreement, I think whoever this is, they're going to honour the verbal agreement. That's what I'm seeing here. I mean, unless there's a huge change in circumstances between now and then, I'm feeling quite confident about this, and I'm feeling very calm about this. It's a very calm feeling. It feels very stable, very calm. So, you know, try not to worry too much about this. If there's an agreement around you and you're worrying about this, if this all resonates with you, there's not a lot you can do anyway. And yeah, I'm getting this really calm, stable feeling. So I think it's going to be a calm, stable result. And, you know, it doesn't feel like, oh, wow, that's an amazing result. I'm so excited. I'm going to drink champagne and jump around. No, it's not like that. It's more like calm stability. So it's good. It's positive. So if that resonates with you, I hope that helps you. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, there's a lot of distance, not just between you and this love connection. You have a distance between you and some other people as well. There's a lot of distance here. So you might be in a different completely different town. You might even be in a different country from a lot of your relatives and friends. Maybe you moved around a lot. So there's a big distance that I'm seeing here. Now, yeah, there's someone you'd love to be close to. I think this might actually be a relative. I'm not sure, it might be a friend. You want to be close to them, but you can't. And I think that's for practical reasons. You know, I think if everything was perfect in your life, you'd be near them, but you can't. It might be that you work somewhere differently. It might be that you had to move for whatever practical reason, or they did. And, you know, I think you understand that. They do as well. There are a lot of people around you who don't understand distance, especially when it comes to your relationships. You know, so, and I think you might be questioned by people. They might be saying, oh, how can you, that's not a real relationship. How can you be with someone when you're far away? La, la, all of that kind of thing. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that you can't be close to someone unless they're right next to you. That's not true. And you know that, because I'm just picking up on someone who questions you, questions your lifestyle, your relationships, the distance, clearly. And, you know, being separate from loved ones, of course it makes things difficult. Of course it does. Everyone knows that. Doesn't mean that it's impossible. It doesn't mean it's impossible. But, you know, also there are lots of people who live together who aren't close at all. They never talk to each other. You just have to go out to a restaurant or something and you look at a couple and they're on their phones and they don't talk to each other. So people live like that all the time. So just because you're with someone doesn't mean you're close. You might be or you might not be. It doesn't make any difference. Yes, it does make things harder if you are away physically. Yes, and I'm seeing that here, and that's how you're feeling with the Two of Cups. But it doesn't mean it's a disaster. It doesn't mean it's not a real relationship, and it doesn't mean that it's you know, impossible. So, you know, and some people just question anything that's a bit different. They can't get their head around anything that's outside of the norm, and I think that's what these people are like. But yeah, you know, you do have times when you don't feel sure. I can see that here, but and you do want to be closer to them, but that's for you to sort out, not these nosy people. So yeah, the other thing here is, okay, the other thing I'm seeing here is it's the Five of Pentacles. So there's a lot of sadness here. Someone's really regretful. I think they really regret things. And yeah, the strange thing is I don't think this person's spoken to you for a long, long time. This feels like an ex. It feels like an ex from way back, years ago. That's what's so strange about this. Very strange. It's a really strange feeling. And I've got to tell you, it's not a very positive feeling I'm getting around this. This isn't the same ex that's in the Star card, if that's an ex. This is a way, way, way back, years and years ago ex, and you haven't spoken to them for a long, long, long time at all. And okay, this is what I'm seeing. They're with someone else. So this is so strange. They're with someone else and they're not happy where they are. They're not happy who they're with either. So that gives me a warning signal that if an ex is not happy with who they're with and where they are, and they're coming back in your reading, this is a big warning to me. So watch out. Yeah, I'm seeing a connection between you and their family. There's a woman here. I think you were close to this woman in their family when you're with this person, and I think that connection probably faded after you separated. That makes sense that it would. And I think this ex might try to contact you again, and it might be through this woman. They might try to pass on messages through them. I don't know, or something like that, but I am seeing a connection through this woman, and I'm seeing them trying to connect with you through them. That's what I'm seeing. Now I'm saying try, because I don't know if she'll agree to this or not, but that's one thing that they're going to try to do, I think. So be prepared for this. There are big red flashing sirens and warning signs and everything all over this whole thing. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, the last card you have, your presence, the Page of Swords. Okay, so yeah, if you're worried about this person trying to connect again, you might want to look at your privacy settings on social media, Obviously, this card can be about watching you, watching from afar, stalking. I don't think they're quite doing that. I don't think they're watching you every day. I don't think they're obsessive or anything like that. But I think as time goes on, and I think when it gets closer to that time when they want to try to connect with you, they'll probably start watching you a lot more. So yeah, watch out for that. Yeah, you're not in any danger. I think you're probably at a distance from this person as well. You're at a distance from everyone. That's what I'm getting in this reading. But yeah, they had a lot of, yeah, this is what I'm seeing. They had a lot of problems around money. And I think when you were with them, they brought their money problems into your relationship, and they still have money problems. Okay, so yeah, it's quite dodgy. You know, anyone who tries to connect with an ex and watches their ex's social media all the time, and while they're still with someone else, they're on dodgy territory, clearly. So that's all I have to say about this person. Big, big, huge red sirens flashing at me saying, please be careful. If this person tries to contact you, be very careful. Okay, so the first card you have your future is the Page of Pentacles. Yes, I don't want to talk about this person again, this old ex person who has money problems. But yeah, there's another warning here again. So I keep on seeing all these money problems around them, and there are a lot of issues around that when you're together, I think, and they're coming up as the Five of Pentacles, so clearly there are money problems there. The message here is protect what you have, protect your money, handle your money carefully, especially while this person's coming back to you. Look at this page holding this coin super carefully. So manage your coin carefully, manage your money carefully. And yeah, I think that's why I'm getting all these warnings, because they might just be interested in money. That might be another thing. So just be very, very careful. There are a million warnings everywhere, all around this person. And again, I don't think they're around you. You know, they're not near you physically. But, you know, I can see this big no. N-O. So that's all I have to say about that person. No. Okay, I'm not going to say any more about them. The only thing I'm going to say is no. Okay. The next card you have, your future, is the Two of Pentacles. Okay, I'm just looking at these two cards together, this one and the Chariot. So I'll talk about them together. So okay, with this love connection, especially if this is at a distance, I think you're going to come into a time where there's a bit of a lack of communication between you for a while. And I don't think this is because you're going to have an argument. I'm not seeing problems. It's all for practical reasons, I think, because you'll both be quite busy, but I think they're going to be especially busy at this time, very, very busy for a while with their work and whatever else they might be studying as well. So I'm just looking at these two coins, and it's a little bit like, you know, a seesaw going up and down. One's up and the other one's down. And so what I'm seeing here is slow messages, text messages or whatever. You know, it's like your turn, their turn, your turn to message, their turn to message. So I think when it comes to your turn, you'll be messaging them, and then you'll have to wait for their turn. It's going to be very slow before they get back to you. Now, I don't want you to stress around this, because I think you're already a little bit worried about this relationship, not sure about it, a little bit insecure, unsure of this. Now, when they don't get back to you, please don't stress about this, because I have to stress this. It's for practical reasons. They are genuinely busy. If they come and say, oh, I was busy, of course, yes, that sounds like an excuse. It's not an excuse, I think, when it comes to this person. They are busy. And they're not talking to other people or anything like that. There's a lot of positivity around this connection. I want to keep on stressing that to you. Now, there is an opportunity coming up, I think, for one of you to be able to travel. That's what this Chariot's telling me. And if you look at the man in the Chariot, he's boxed in. He's got this kind of box around him. So if this all resonates, you're still going to be a little bit guarded, a little bit undecided, I think, until one of you makes this trip. And I think after that, that's when you'll start to feel a bit better, after you've spent more physical time with them. And you feel a lot more comfortable around this. And I think after that, you're going to plan a lot more. You're going to plan your future a lot more. So if you are at a distance, you're probably going to plan when you're going to see each other, maybe whether you're going to move, they're going to move, or whatever. So you're going to start to really put some concrete plans there. That's going to make you feel a lot more secure as well, if this is all resonating with you. So yeah, you'll just feel a lot comfortable after this as well. And so yeah, if you are at a distance with this person, hang in there, especially when they're really busy, because this looks really good. It really does. It looks really, really positive. So Pisces, I hope this resonated with you, but general readings can't always resonate, as you know. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to, and thank you for watching.